Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. If you're new with us today, we invite you to pick up a welcome packet after the service, and they're usually against the back wall there. And then if you'd like a tour of our grounds, any one of us can just come up to us and we will be more than glad to show you around. They're beautiful grounds that we're very proud of. And so we're opening with music right now from the Heart Sangha Choir.
The Heart Sangha Choir invites you to join us. We're going to sing a congregational celebration of the harvest. All who feel comfortable to rise and join us in song. We're going to have a little projection. Thank you so much.
Good morning again. Good morning. I'm Judy Carmi, and I'm your practitioner in service for today. I'd like to welcome you to the center where we inspire and empower people to live spiritually fulfilling lives. The practitioners in service, Charlie, Mary, myself, will be in a service for prayer after service in front here near the bell. We've rearranged things a little bit, and I'm thinking, goodness, this is a real opportunity for us to see our reflections in each other across the aisle. So, wonderful way to recognize our own light in each other. Let's see. So if you would now turn sideways and and wave to the camera as we invite the children up. And you can greet your neighbor at the same time if you see them in back of you or on the side of you. Just now, I would like to thank all the other members of our team who are in service today in many different capacities. So our sound team, our kitchen cookies, our greeters, our ushers, and probably more if I haven't mentioned you, we are grateful. Please, if you can silence your phones right now, and I will read today's announcements. So Fall Bazaar and Service Silent Auction begins today and runs through November 24th. We're excited to offer this popular opportunity once again as a fundraiser for the center. Enjoy bidding on the goods and services that have been generously donated by people from the congregation and or their friends. The Holiday Bliss gift basket raffle runs from today, Sunday, to December 15th. This year, there are 11 different baskets for you to choose from. Each basket is filled with treasures from $75 to $150. And the treasures, I have to say, are not all visible. There are so many treasures that we couldn't have be visible in the basket that are hidden underneath. It's just amazing. They're chock full of amazing things. And so please browse them as you go into the social hall and put your bids in. Speak Your Truth, Poetry and Prose, Open Mic Night, hosted by Shem Smith, Friday, November 22nd, 7 to 9 p.m. You're invited to sing, speak, or play your tune, poetry, stories, songs, or do comedy. These can be your own compositions or pieces that speak to you. Come and listen and be the audience with your clapping. The sincerely gifted members of our Reading community will appreciate you. CSLR Community Outreach Teddy Bears for Blue Santa is here once again. Donate teddy bears and other stuffed animals Sunday, November 24th to Sunday, December 15th. The Reading Police Department's Blue Santa program reaches out to children who may either not be receiving gifts this year, find themselves in pediatric unit, at a hospital during the holidays, or are at home when police answer domestic violence calls. Let's fill the front of the sanctuary with cuddly bears. Friendship Sundays. Did you know last Sunday of each month is Friendship Sunday? What does that mean? Well, it means that you can bring a friend or two to the center. And as always, you can always bring a friend or two, but on Sundays, a special Sunday where we share our favorite dishes that we can make at home or purchase and bring for others to taste. And so we invite you to bring those dishes and share the social hall after the service is over. Thanksgiving Interfaith Service at First United Methodist Church, Sunday, November 24th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. This free family-friendly event will feature readings, prayers, reflections, and practices of giving thanks from various faith traditions. An interfaith choir will present 2 songs. It is a wonderful event, and I have attended for quite a number of years, and it's always a joy to be there with the rest of our community, interfaith community. Decorating the center for the holidays, Saturday, November 30th, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Join Reverend Sue in decorating the sanctuary this year. Our theme is Holiday Spirit. We enjoy digging through our various buckets of colored ornaments, and before long, feel the delight of transforming our center into a festive hall of joy. That sounds like lots of fun. I have so many boxes at home of ornaments, and I'm thinking I might join yours, bring them in. New moon circle. Okay, so this new moon circle is asking us to pay attention. And the herb for that is nettles. Now, I know that when I brush against a plant of nettles, it sure makes me pay attention. What an amazing herb to have on this new moon circle. This is offered by Lori Buckman, and it's on Saturday, November 30th. Excuse me. From 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Maximum of 15 female attendees. We will meet as women have for centuries to set intentions, to foster personal growth, and set direction together. This sacred practice evolves our awareness using herbal allies, synchronizing with real-time cycles and holistic wellness. Join us to thrive. Okay, and now our reading will be from Lori. Come on up.
This is a story from Florence Scovel Shinn's The Game of Life. A woman came to me one hot summer's day for a treatment for prosperity. She was worn out, dejected, and discouraged. She said she possessed just $8 in the world. I said, "Good, we'll bless the $8 and multiply them as Jesus Christ multiplied the loaves and fishes. For he taught that every man had the power to bless and to multiply, to heal and to prosper." She said, "What shall I do next?" I replied, "Follow intuition. Have you a hunch to do anything or to go anywhere? Intuition means to be taught from within. It is one's unerring guide." The woman replied, "I don't know. I seem to have a hunch to go home. I've just enough money for car fare." Her home was in a distant city and was one of lack and limitation, and the reasoning mind or intellect would have said, "Stay in New York and get work and make some money." I replied, "Then go home. Never violate a hunch." I spoke the following words for her. "Infinite Spirit, open the way for great abundance for," lady's name. "She is an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to her by divine right." I told her to repeat it continually also. She left for home immediately. In calling on a woman one day, she linked up with an old friend of her family. Through this friend, she received thousands of dollars in a most miraculous way. She has said to me often, "Tell people about the woman who came to you with $8 and a hunch." There is always plenty on one's pathway, but it can only be brought into manifestation through desire, faith, or the spoken word. We each have the responsibility to make the first move and follow our inner guidance as led by divine influence.
I invite you just now to lower your gaze or close your eyes and center yourself in your heart space. And bring your focus to your breath. Great Spirit, Mother, Father, God, I recognize you here today. I recognize your presence in me of pure light, pure love. As I recognize your presence in its perfection, beauty, harmony, love, I recognize your presence in everyone here, in everyone within the sound of my voice, watching this service, and way, way beyond. Great Spirit, Mother, Father, God, I see you and know you in all, in perfect harmony and perfect balance. Knowing you as creativity, as love, as abundance, as perfection, as intelligence. And as I recognize this light that is within us all, I am so grateful. I am so grateful to meet and have the opportunity to look in the eyes of others and say, yes, I see you. I know you. You are that I am, that God is. And in that place of knowing, there is no lack. There is only abundance. There is only the flow of perfection, of harmony, of love. And when I align myself with this knowing, joy arises in my heart. And so just now, I am so grateful to release these words and this knowing into the law of mind, recognizing that it is already so. All good, all God, and so it is. Reverend Sue?
Top of the morning to you. Feels weird. You guys feel strange? Huh? You like it? Nice. It's a beautiful opportunity. There's all this research all the time about how people get in the habit of, in a classroom, going to the same seat all the time. Yoga classes, there's 5 people, same people, sit over here. Same cluster over here, the same cluster over there. We got, even with this room expanded, all the chairs gone. Over here, right here, yeah. And somebody would come in and somebody's got their space. I don't know what to do. They lay right next to them, just like the beach. So I hope you enjoy looking back at each other, something different, something to watch how you respond to something different. And also, as I look around and I see some new faces in the choir, I'm so happy to see the returning faces and the new faces. And when I look out here, I see new faces and returning faces, and it feels like a blessing. Last night we had our Gratitude Festival. That's why this is set up this way. Now, you missed a very fun game, those that couldn't come, and it was grabbing cups. And we always get a winner, but I didn't have a prize. So I kept trying to give away the steak knives. They didn't even want them. So I might just wrap them up and put them under the tree and have another game around Christmas. And somebody's going to go home with those darn steak knives. Okay? So, we are talking about more than enough today as we continue to wrap up. This is the final day of our stewardship program. And if you have been thinking about signing up and maybe offering something for 2025, see one of us and we can very graciously receive that from you. I have been carrying since this started a little blessing jar at my home filled with a tiny acorn for those that signed up for and I'm not bribing you, but it's signed up for the program. And I brought them today. And so if you signed up for the program, come see me. It's just a tiny token of our gratitude. But acorns symbolize so much in our lives, so much potentiality. So that is that in that little blessing jar over there. And we have heard this familiar affirmation, God is my abundant source and supply. And so we can lay that upon our heart and thrive with that. But I'm going to share something later on in the talk that might help you deepen that understanding even more. We have been celebrating, it's called abundant consciousness. And the most phrase I think that has been, all the words I say up here, the one that's sticking is, I'm a money magnet. Little kids are saying, I'm a money magnet. And I thought, all right, it's good to hear a child say that. It's very good to instill that wisdom in a small child, and they can grow up with that knowing. So whatever's working for us to shift our consciousness from lack to plenty, this is what's important. So I'm going to talk about what I'm pointing to in another way that we've talked about a lot here at the center, but a book, The Energy of Money by Maria Nemeth, describes it so beautifully, and it's just in other words. So, also, the tendency when I talk about abundance, some of you might right away just, picture money. Abundance is so much more than that. So we want to explore, more importantly, our level of faith. Where's our faith? Where are we trusting that our source and supply in life is never bound by limitation, but always open to a flow of good? It's always coming to us as we open freely to it. There's that word as. AS is one of the most important words as you're learning your spiritual understandings. It's done unto you as you believe. The flow is coming to you as you open freely. It's up to you. So that's the important part here. And the parable that refers to this the most, and it was mentioned in the reading that Lori did, is the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes that is offered in the Bible. This is where Jesus fed the multitudes. Most of you familiar with that story? I don't want to assume. That's where he gathers by the sea, and they don't have enough. But there was a small child there filled with faith. I have 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And so what happened there after Jesus praised that offering with deep gratitude, he broke it into pieces and was able to feed the multitudes. It's an amazing story. And it's a story as a child when I heard it, as a Methodist. It stuck with me all these years. And I remember personally having my own miracle with that as I was about 20, and we were camping with a group of friends, and I was making the dinner. I was making chili. There was only supposed to be 4 of us. Then 8 came, then 12, and then 20. And I'm like, oh dear, the small pot of chili. So what did I do? I kept adding a little more water, as much as I could, and a lot of chili powder. So much chili powder, but it has a beautiful color, great fragrance. And it worked. It worked. It fed the whole group. And I thought about this parable, and I think I know my story. It was because it tasted terrible is why it worked. And they had plenty of wine and beer. That's all they cared about anyway. But I still feel like I had a miracle. I had leftover chili. So this is the point here, though. There's many times maybe you've had your own little experience. I'm not sure all of our stories, but if you really thought deeper, some of the things that I talked about, like the little dime card that we used to try to gather coin and offer it of our good to our churches when we were younger, these are the things that are instilled in us. But also what's been instilled in us is the worry of lack and not enough. Do you guys feel that at some level? And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good, especially at holiday times when you need more than enough to cover the love in your heart if you want to be gifting people. So here's where Dr. Holmes, as he points back to the story, Jesus was not the great exception, he was the great example. And he even said, "Greater works than these he shall do." And Jesus went on to explain, "I go unto my Father." I go on to my sense of knowing where my faith is, that all is provided for. So he goes on, "We have been so accustomed to thinking of Jesus as a man filled with love and compassion, human kindness, that we've overlooked something else about him that is equally important. Jesus had the access to spiritual power, and he used it in every way. To him, it seemed the most natural thing in the world that he should be able to tell the paralyzed man, walk, or multiply the loaves and the fishes, or still the wind and the waves. Such confidence, such faith in knowing his divine guidance. He goes on to say, we are in partnership with this infinite mind. And as I'm going to pause there, as I work with the new practitioner students and we talk about this, the moment any of you remember when suddenly you grasp that idea, one mind, one thought field, one vast intelligence that we're all accessing all the time. We tap in, we pull in. It's just, and when we really get that at a level that fills our soul, we sit in those moments of absolute faith and light, and it's just, you want to share it. You want to reach out and tell everyone the good news, because it's so much different than the upbringing of a God in the sky with some kind of an odd human form, something behind like Wizard of Oz, the screen. You know, remember that, how shocking it was as a child? Oh, there really isn't an Oz. It's just a man behind a screen. But we know more than this. We're tapping into this greatness. So he goes on, the supreme intelligence, the universal creative order, the all-perfect presence. This is God. This is our partner. This is our source. This is our life. Throw yourself with complete abandonment and acceptance into its soft embrace. For it is closer to you than your very breath, nearer to you than your hands and feet. It's right where you are. Each one of you sitting here is infused with the divine. So every story that has been related to limitation of resources reminds us that we're viewing it. You see, we get trapped. We start viewing it from a limited consciousness. There's this vast consciousness, and we shrink wrap it to fit the stories that we've been told. And it's from that limited consciousness that we're called to face that which is disturbing us. We want to deal with what is the core belief that lies within you that is limiting you in any way, in any aspect of life. If you're here with such a tender heart because something has been oppressing you, maybe a relationship, and you feel like there is nobody out there. Look around, we've got a big population on this planet. So it's like, that's ridiculous. There's more than enough people. I must open myself. And so the same goes with whatever desire. It is for us individually, each one of us, to respond to that call, just as Jesus did, to go to the Father, to go to that which you name as the divine. I loved Judy's prayer, Father, Mother, God. This beautiful nature, this beautiful oneness, this beautiful intelligence, whatever, this beautiful love, whatever makes you go, that's it. That's where my heart plugs in. That's the word. That's the word for the nameless. We all have to find what that heavenly consciousness is for you and connect with that. And then that sense of lack and that pitiful human experience will be lifted into that divine providence. It's all absolutely provided for us always. God is and I am. God is and I am. God is and I am. Whenever you are in a sense of feeling put upon, that holy idea alone connects us to our true nature and the true pure potentiality that we choose to believe is possible. Now, this emphasis here is the fact that Jesus didn't just, well, I hope this miracle works. We've got a lot of people out there. So this Earnest Holmes, here's this another idea. These words are so beautiful. We must enter into the spirit of life, into the joy of living, into the usefulness of creative endeavor. If we feel that we are simply onlookers and not participants in the game of life, we should rediscover that youthful spirit of the childlike joy that gave us the energy, the happiness, and the security and the faith we had as children. As that child, I have 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Could that help? He could have said, I'm going to hide my stuff because there's not enough food here and I better hoard mine. The child didn't go there. He also goes, we may be certain we are talking about the greatest thing in life. An inner presence that responds to us. That's the law of good. That's what's working through us as us. There's a power of right that can rearrange. There's a power of right that can rearrange all of our circumstances as we believe in it. Does that stir you? Just a little bit of a shift? Try to notice it. Try to own it. Try to live with that hunch inside of you today. So remember, Jesus wasn't just standing there and secretly hypnotizing the multitudes and then signaling the fishermen, get back out to sea. We got something to do here. And he wasn't telling others to go bake some more bread. Hurry. No, he didn't have a plan. He wasn't trying to pull one over on anyone. And he wasn't fretting and crossing his fingers, and I hope this works. I'm pretty sure there's a God out there, but I'm on the line here. His miracle story is a miracle because he trusted the infinite power, and he never once doubted. He, and we all can be, pure vessels of that faith. He spoke to the child with pure, childlike faith. That's important too. He said, step forward and welcome those goods, welcome those gifts from this small child. He stood on principle. He blessed it. He blessed it in gratitude before offering it. Remember that at your mealtime on Thanksgiving. Bless the abundance upon the table, even if you're eating alone. Bless the food that nourishes you. Stand on principle. God is my source. God is my power. And we're reminded to stay aligned with this faith and trust in spirit. Above all, anything, the world is going to distract us off course and pull us back. It doesn't take long. Don't watch any commercials. It's going to take you back into limitation and smallness. So, this confidence of faith and gratitude precedes our demonstrations of what is good. So I was raised, it seems like just yesterday, of the upbringing of the oppression, of the depression that my parents went through. Some of you are in the same age group as me, right? There was a lot of that going on. The not enough. There's just not enough. You want a Barbie? Well, here's a fake one. You want this? All for all of my three other sisters, we all got the exact same quantity. But it seemed like the presents at Christmas just spread out, full living room, and it was just all joy. The meals, sometimes, we had Spam. I'm sorry if that's one of your favorite dishes. I don't know what Spam is, and I'm glad I never see it again. But I'm a vegetarian now, maybe that's why. I had too much Spam and fried bologna. As I recall this, it's a visceral feeling. So I laugh at that in my own self, but I also have the visceral feeling sometimes of not enough. Charlie, the day he said, oh, well, this is going to be our last cup of latte because we're going to start, watching the pennies. And I went, don't say that. He was only joking, but he's the only one. He's helped me let go of that limitation that was put upon my consciousness as a young child. He has healed that in me. And he's usually, when it came around, you want to raise our pledge next year? And I'm like, no, that's enough. We're doing enough. But we did this year because I thought, I'm going to let go of that. Enough. I'm giving enough. What else can I give? Or how else can I serve? So practitioners know this. Practitioners know that giving thanks in advance for the good that we receive is what shapes and allows whatever is to be the demonstration of our prayers to be brought forth. We are shaping the outcome by our offerings of release. So Earnest Holmes is saying here again, he was on a show called Thanksgiving. Are you and I, so I ask you these questions, giving thanks and praising the increase? Are we gratefully acknowledging the good we wish to experience? Or are we condemning the little things in our lives so that they cannot multiply in our hands? After all, it's really the little things that count. Let's you and I see if we cannot become as the little children. Natural for us to believe. It's natural for us to dance with joy and enter the rhythm of life with happiness. And it's natural to expect the miracle of love to perform its acts of kindness. So, I mentioned that I was going to point you back where you might be squirming just a little bit or not even aware that you're still wrestling with some of these scriptures, some of these quotations that are pointing the way. But there's just a wee bit more that you need to tend to within yourself. And maybe, here it is, you've been working on your affirmations, and yet you still feel the scarcity at that very deep level. You're talking over it. You're spiritual bypassing it. You're allowing it just to still stay there. Maybe this Band-Aid of this beautiful affirmation will heal this once and for all. Wayne Dyer reminded us, abundance is not what we acquire, but what we tune into. How do we master this frequency with the divine principle. How do we get there? It can be a big bump of resistance on our pathway to all of this. So here's where I'm inviting us these next few months on for the rest of your life to dive deeper. And in this book that Maria Nemeth wrote, she describes this, and it's halfway through the book where it just jumped out at me. The fear that can block our flow of good, the unhealthy emotions within us that are left unattended to, continue to brew. They continue to create a barrier to manifesting. So how do we respond to these unexpressed emotions that are creating limitations? Because it's a natural response. It's not like, oh man, I want a do-over on this life. It's not about that. We live in this mundane world, and we're so influenced by restrictions in time and in our lifespan and the concepts of finite that come our way when we look at our bank account and the bank says, yeah, now just like that, Lee, I have $8. That's all I got, $8. See, 8 fits in one hand. But we can learn from this, and we can not be held back. She said, this is her word, scarcity is one of our deepest fears, yet one of our most profound teachers. It is the mind's experience. It's the mind experiencing the limit that this is a natural part of our reality. Our mind has shaped itself around this idea. No matter how enlightened or conscious you are working towards, or how rich you are, we still maybe lying deep and dormant within us is this scarcity, and it's naturally repeating its poison day after day. So this might turn you a little bit upside down and say, man, all those money magnet affirmations, I have to start over? No, it's just inviting you to watch where your monkey mind is dancing around inside of you, and try to recognize if you're saying some words of truth, but underneath you're saying BS. This is not working. This is not working. It doesn't work for me. You've got to know what that core belief is, and how much will ever be enough for you? How much will that be? A condition in life we've witnessed and perhaps buried a fear around scarcity. Like I mentioned, the generational influence, our parenting. But then you come into the Science of Mind Center, and everyone is happily affirming these wonderful words. And you might chime in, but never for a moment deeply allow that visceral feeling to be the magnet that draws the good to you, because that fear is lying in you dormant, just ready to say, do you truly believe this? So as soon as, because you'll feel it, as soon as the threat of the stock market falling, we grip the pit in our stomach. What does that mean to my 401k? Do I even have a 401k? What about my savings? What about what I've been hoarding? All of a sudden you start to realize where this might be in you. And I speak these words just to take an honest look at the affirmation. This is the lesson. And I've got the time limit on me, but I want so much to share. She talked about Warren. He said, the last thing I want anyone to know is how much money I don't have. This is a client. I have this internal monitor that tells me just how much to spend to keep myself broke. I can't hold on to money. I know something is wrong with me. Some nights I worry a lot about growing old, growing poor. As an elder, that is frightening. Her response is common. She says, On the one hand, he fears not having enough. On the other, he hates the idea of facing that fear. We don't want to face it. We want to be in la la land. On the other hand, he races past scarcity with his credit cards out and spending everything he has, which results in keeping himself poor. This makes no sense at all, yet it happens again and again in our lives. We spend bravely and put up a great front. We take the actions that draw us to the very thing we most abhor. On the circuitous route to avoid the dragon, we end up at its door. There's so much here, but I want to jump to the healing principle. Because what's important, we can't hold a positive thought to avoid an honest reaction to scarcity. You have to go deep. You have to go to the pit of the core belief and uproot it. Trying to control your thoughts and feelings that you don't want to look at, but thoughts and feelings need an outlet. And if they don't get it, they fester. They undermine our entire outlook on the world. The effort to make them disappear with positive affirmations then seems so futile. They're like waves, trying to keep the waves from lapping against the shore. So clearly, our minds are drawn to the very things we tell them to avoid. It is possible to cover over your negative thoughts. Is it possible? No, that's spiritual bypass. And we want to know the truth. So finally she says, and you can control the thoughts you don't want if you're willing to freeze over huge areas of your life experience. But when you freeze out the pain, however, you must numb the joy and your enthusiasm for life. It's so grim. There's something about looking at what you think is wrong with you, your own personal experience of scarcity, and being willing to see it and turn to tell the truth about it. You get more room to breathe, to soften up. You make space for compassion. And when that happens, the people in the situations around you often shift too. Not just about you now. Not just about you. So I'm going to, Kathleen Patton's here, and she wrote me a script. And I'm not going to tell you my story. My story is a painful story, but she's helped me so much. But this work that she does, this emotional freedom tapping technique, is just one way, and I've mentioned it before. So listen to this. After you have heard what I've shared, she gave me this to work when I get the moments of stung with the belly of the monkey mind. Even though when I think about this mess, I feel overwhelmed and discouraged, I choose now to align myself with Spirit, knowing I can move forward with grace and ease. Do you see it? It's putting the demon right in front of me, the mess, and I'm overwhelmed and discouraged by that. But I allow myself to be aligned with Spirit to move forward with grace and ease. Even though, so here's those words, even though I think about this mess and how I have felt, I choose to know that I will not abandon myself. I will not abandon myself, and that Spirit will protect me. Even though, when I think about this mess, I feel discouraged, I choose to embrace my hero's journey and to know I will rise from the ashes forever transformed. So powerful, all of you. Take whatever words you can take from this moment of confession. Then you break it down even more as you go through the different tapping zones. This is a mess. This has shaken me to the core. I choose to release what no longer serves me. I choose to claim my strength and courage. I choose to speak my truth with conviction. I will protect myself. I embrace this initiation. I stand in my truth. I claim my inner warrior goddess, this transformation and all that it means to me. Thank you. Thank all of you for just listening, because there's a script that you too can write for yourself, starting with, even though I never got a Barbie. Whatever it is that has shrank your understanding down to such smallness, this is an opportunity to bless your way, to open to something greater. Now, there is as Judy gets prepared, another conversation I had with Dawn was the Aramaic translation of what some of Jesus' words are. And so there's one that Jesus, we've heard this in Matthew. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. How it's translated? Ask intensely, like a straight line engraved towards the object you want. Pray with desire, as though you interrogated your own soul about its deepest, most hidden longings, and you will receive expansively, not only what your desire was asked, but where the elemental breath has led you, to love's doorstep, the place where you bear the fruit. Woo. So thank you, Dawn, for pointing me that way. You see, we help each other. That's what community does. So let us do a blessing here. Let's just come together into our own heart, into our own spaces, our own tender places deep inside that have shrank away from our good and claiming our good and expressing that good. And right now, we just open to that with soft, open hands to receive the belly of our suffering with deepest compassion, with deepest forgiveness, with deeper understanding, with deeper sense of freedom, as we acknowledge what has been, what has been. And we align now that with this great resource, God is all and more. God is the omnipresence, the truth, the glory, the abundance of this universe. All that has become because of the divine providence. So right now we just allow ourselves to be held in that, aligned with that. Whatever's been messy, we let it go. It's no longer a story. It's no longer buried anywhere inside of us. And we allow a sense of freedom to rejoice its expression through us now as we move into the gratitude season, the season of giving out to others. And we know there's more than enough to accomplish all of that. So thank you, God, for a message of truth weaved together through the wisdom of Earnest Holmes, through their various teachers of all time, and through our willingness to sit here in an oddly shaped circle and say, thank you, God. I receive, I accept, and I let go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Thank you. And now you get to be blessed by our choir. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, that was beautiful. And now I think we're inviting the ushers up. So please come up. And as I invite the ushers up, I want to remind the congregation that the practitioners will be stationed here at the bell after the service for prayer. And so just now, as I pray and begin and prepare to give my offering, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I am filled with gratitude, knowing that life stays in balance, for as I give, I receive. And just now, I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and during the week. I know each dollar supports the spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all that the center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is. And now for a closing song from our Heart Sangha Choir.
we have another opportunity to join in singing together in movement. We will sing "Thank You for This Day." We have some percussion. I don't know. I did it just in case. It might take a moment, but if you need a little percussion, if you want to join with a little percussive instrument, we have a few right up there. And if you want to take a moment, you can have a moment. You can have a maraca. They're right up. I can even bring it.
Thank you.
fun. How many calories did you burn? Huh? Because now you get to go fill up in the social hall. I left some sheets there on the counter if anybody wants to sit at a table and play How to Get to Know You Bingo. And you might win some steak knives. I don't know. They're up for grabs. Anyway, thank you for being here today. Thank you for this day. And have fun shopping. The gift baskets are in the social hall. Don't miss them. You can get tickets from the board member or anybody that's bugging you about them. Okay, thank you, everyone.